Hey everybody, this is Deb with Truthification Chronicles, and I'm going to go through this kind of quick because I'm really tired. Anyway, I wanted to start out with a little chuckle here from Mike Huckabee. Hey ABC, was this video also shot in Kentucky? ABC releases exclusive video of armed troops crossing the border from Turkey into Syria. Oh, I'm sorry. It was just too funny. I had to do that. So anyway, let's go on to the real meat of things. Well, POTUS just tweeted this not too awful long ago, said what has happened here with the Anthony Weiner laptop, the server, all of the emails between Huma Abedin and Hillary Clinton, the deleted Clinton emails, what is going on? And that was a quote by Lou Dobbs. He was interviewing Joe DeGeneva and Victoria Tenzing. And that was a comment Lou said in frustration. Well, this is bringing it back into the news again. And for POTUS to retweet that particular quote, it's significant, folks. It really is. Because if you all remember on, it was November 4th, 2016, General Flynn tweeted out this. And this is very significant. I think a lot of us now look at this and we can understand a lot more of it. Look what he was saying. He had a retweet here, and then spirit cooking and never Hillary. I don't know why the extra Y in there. And then just the letter Y. And drain the swamp. NYPD ready to make arrests in Weiner case. And then he puts in the link. Okay. Now, that link is right here. That's the article. So I will include this down below. Now, I know this is from way back, but it's very important. And for those who have been following things, you understand the importance of the Weiner laptop. And for those of you who may not know, there were some files on the Weiner laptop that have not become public common knowledge yet, but they will. And there was a folder that was called Life Insurance, and in it was a lot of dirt on a lot of people in Washington, D.C. And not just D.C., but there were others too. But yeah, it was like major blackmail files. Yep, that's what it was. And so this is from Erik Prince. Now it says Blackwater founder. Yeah, he had an organization named Blackwater, and then he renamed it to something else, and I can never remember what it's called now. It starts with an A or something. So anyway, but yeah, he was the person who started Blackwater, and he's a former Navy SEAL. His name's Erik Prince. I believe he's the brother of Betsy DeVos, the Secretary of Education. I'm pretty sure. Anyway, told Breitbart News Daily on Sirius XM that according to one of his well-placed sources in the New York Police Department, the NYPD wanted to do a press conference announcing the warrants and the additional arrests they were making in the Anthony Weiner investigation, but received huge pushback from the Justice Department. And at that time, the Justice Department was being run by Loretta Lynch. So very interesting. Here is the entire interview. It's about 20 minutes long. Really well worth listening to if you've not done that yet, because there were a lot of things on there that because of Weinergate and the sexting scandal, the NYPD started investigating it, meaning the laptop, through a subpoena, through a warrant. They searched his laptop and sure enough found those 650,000 emails from Hillary Clinton to, Huma. They were going back and forth, and they were stored on this laptop that was not secure and actually belonged to somebody who didn't even have a security clearance, so he could have had the access to those. So they found way more stuff than just more information pertaining to the inappropriate sexting the guy was doing. And if you read through this, there were a lot of things. They found a lot of other really damning criminal information, including money laundering, including the fact that Hillary went to the sex island with convicted pedophile Jeffrey Epstein. Bill Clinton went there more than 20 times. Hillary Clinton went there at least 6 times. So a lot of stuff going on. The amount of garbage they found in these emails of criminal activity by Hillary, by her immediate circle, and even by other Democratic members of Congress was so disgusting, they gave it to the FBI. Wrong move there. You know who was in charge of the FBI. And they said, we're going to go public with this if you don't reopen the investigation and you don't do the right thing with timely indictments. Well, Comey did, in fact, reopen the investigation, or at least he made a show of doing it. So I don't know exactly what has happened and why it's not come out. It was, for a while, the laptop was under seal, and it was unsealed on May 16th, I believe, of 2018. And that was shortly after Schneiderman, the Attorney General from New York, was ousted. And so I believe that he was the one keeping it under seal. And then when he was gone, it was unsealed. So that was one of those unsealed proceedings that has been on the books. So there's a lot of things like that. They're not all indictments. Some of them are proceedings or evidence like this. So other things are considered sealed. So they're not all indictments, but then again, one indictment can have many people listed on it. So you don't know exactly how many there are. Anyway, so I wanted to point this article out to you. Most of you who have been around the 17th letter of the alphabet have probably already read this and you already knew about this tweet. But yeah, this is very important. And now it's coming out in the news again. This is huge because POTUS is making sure we're starting to see the real corruption. And what happens if now this laptop comes out and it does indeed have all of this dirt on it on many, many, many people? And here he says, Erik Prince says, Weiner and Huma Abedin, his wife, the closest advisor of Hillary Clinton for 20 years, have both flipped. They are cooperating with the government. So have they? Well, I think there's a good indication that they are. Because, you know, there's a big difference between life imprisonment and the death penalty, don't you think? So people will sometimes do things just to save themselves. But anyway, I'm going to leave this down below so you can check that out. Here's something else, though, I really want you to be aware of. And this is from CNBC. It came out on the 15th. Twitter explains when it will remove abusive tweets by world leaders. So Twitter announced Tuesday that users will no longer be able to like, retweet, or share offending content from world leaders. The update comes after the company announced in June that it would begin flagging tweets from world leaders that violate its policies. Now, as far as I know, none of Trump's have been flagged yet, but that doesn't mean they won't be. So it's just very interesting that, you know, they're the ones that are going to decide if something is offensive. And, you know, because people were saying, well, Trump is violating your rules. And yeah, that's what they're saying. And so, you know, around bullying and offensive behavior. Well, who's to determine that? Twitter. And of course, that's not going to bode well for conservatives. So I just thought I'd point this out to you and leave it down below. I think it's, you know, something that is a dangerous slope for them to walk on. They could get themselves in big trouble about the time they decide to take action on President Trump. Yeah, that's not going to go well at all for them. And you know, I hope they've been putting it off since June because they announced the new rules in June, but they haven't actually acted on them in regards to Trump. So the first time they do, it's just going to be bad news, Twitter. Don't do it. Don't do it. But if you are on Twitter, I want to remind you of this. Here's a thing that's called shadowban.eu, and if you go there you can check to see if your account is being shadow banned. And it's not really shadow banned that's the problem right now, it's a deboosting. And so what that means, like, see, I'm deboosted, reply deboosting detected. That means that if I reply to somebody, then it's very probable that, you know, when you're going down a list of things, you finally get to a point where it says show other replies, and you have to click that to show any other replies. It'll put mine down there. So people will not see it in the main thing, which means they're once again shuffling all those lovely little replies. So if you go to a tweet that POTUS puts up, chances are the ones you're going to see at the top are all going to be negative and really nasty. And that's okay. You see, this is what bothers me about their whole concept of bullying. It's okay for these people to go on there and say horrible, horrible things about Republicans. I mean, I showed you the other day, Jim Jordan's and just several others. This is what happens. They say horrible things about Republicans, but, that's not bullying. It's crazy. It really is. And that's the people who are going to be in charge of deciding whether we can retweet or share one of POTUS's tweets. Yeah, that's what they're going to be working on. And you knew it was going to happen. I mean, they're going to really ramp things up before the 2020 election because they just can't stand the fact that Trump is putting out truth, and they don't want that. So it's going to get really hairy. Anyway, that's what I've got for you on this one. Sorry it's so short, but had some family things I had to do today, and it really wore me out, and I've got to do more tomorrow. So just not enough energy to do a whole lot more on this. So I hope you didn't mind a blast from the past. Those of you who haven't been following the 17th letter of the alphabet, this might be news to you, but that kind of information has been out there for a long time. It's just that most people don't know it exists. And the mainstream media tries to call it, well, it's a conspiracy theory. It's not. This is reality, folks. And it is going to come out. Now, they've had a lot of people trying to keep that from coming out, which is what's happening right now with the Pfizer report. There are a lot of people who are trying to slow it down and keep it from coming out as much as they can. But it's not going to work. They can't stop it. It's too far along. Nothing can stop it now, folks. It's going to happen. So hang in there. The truth is coming out, and it's starting to come out faster all the time. So, yep, we're going to see some incredible things happen in the very near future. So that's what I've got for you on this one. I want to thank you for stopping by, and I'll see y'all later.